Hello everyone, this is ACH AI Akaya, and we are on the last three of the tutorial missions I'm doing for the StarCraft 2 challenge missions, and hopefully you guys have gotten a lot of use out of them so far. I know they're a lot of fun to play, and hopefully I've been able to give you guys some tips that have helped you improve your play and get better at beating these challenge missions. But anyway, this next one is Harbinger of Death, as you can see in the top left there. Another Protoss challenge mission, and basically the setup for this mission, if you haven't played it yet, is you have a base, a Protoss base, filled with a bunch of units and buildings, and there's just Zerg and Terran units all over the map, and you have to kill as many of them as possible. It's a lot of fun. It requires kind of multitasking, a lot of different things at once, which you'll get a chance to see, during my play here, how terribly bad I am at multitasking. I'm pretty bad at Protoss too. You may have seen my recent series that I started where I'm trying to learn how to play Protoss and ladder. But anyways, you'll get to see all of my flaws and inaccuracies and inadequacies in this little video here. But hopefully this will at least give you a couple of things to focus on. One of the things you'll note is in the bottom left here, there's a lot of infantry, a lot of ghosts, a couple of marauders, and a lot of Marines, a couple of Ghosts, and a handful of Marauders. And basically, you have Psystorm and like High Templars and Sentries to deal with that. That is one of the areas you're going to want to focus on the most because there's a lot of easy kills on that. Another area to focus a lot on is where the carriers go. You can kind of see it on the mid right there. There's some infantry over there, a couple of turrets and everything. There's a decent amount of kills there. And then as far as the top of the map, the top left and the top right require, well, I guess the top left more so than the top right, but the top left requires a lot more micro to actually get the kills in there. And one of the, I'm sorry, I don't know if you just noticed that a second ago. If you miss it, rewind. You cannot use your keyboard command in the lower right. That's why you see everything kind of grayed out right now. But if you move your mouse over like I did a second ago on the phase prism, there's that phase command that allows you to turn it into a like a pylon power field, so you can warp units in there. So basically what you have to do is warp in as many units as possible, so you have to use all hotkeys on this mission. So basically what I do is I'm going to send the carriers over here. If you hotkey the carriers, I hotkey them to 1 here. That'll allow you to recall them quickly. Blinking the stalkers up over here and just kind of attack, moving them. I'll come back to them and blink them down on the low ground here. The Phoenix, again, you have to use the Gravitron beam, so it requires a little bit more micro for a little bit less payoff. And then just using Psystorm as much as you can on the infantry in the lower left. This is, like I said earlier, one of the areas that you really want to focus on. And then here, blinking the stalkers down. Going to be bringing in here to kill some of the Reapers, and then making sure, again, going back to the carriers, trying to build more interceptors because losing a lot of interceptors there, and then warp these pylons into, or warp these phase prisms into mobile pylon fields. You can just start cranking in units here, and then basically what I usually do is just attack, move them over there. And as you can see, I was not microing my Phoenix quite well enough over there, so losing a couple of my Phoenix there, which like I said, that's the area that I spend the least of my time because it's the smallest payoff for the most effort. And then once again, in the lower right here, the Stalkers again have cleared out pretty much everything, all the Reapers and stuff in that lower area. So now they're going to blink up onto this cliff here and start working their way over to help out the carriers. Just Psystorming these groups of Marines again, 1 or 2 Psystorms should take out pretty much everything in those little clusters. So definitely try to focus on those clusters as much as possible. And then as you can see there, I also did cast a feedback on that Ghost. Those Ghosts have enough energy that if you get 1 good feedback on them, that will take all of them out pretty much. So that is definitely something that's worth using. And then another cluster of Marines up on the high ground here, so don't forget about them just because they are not quite as easily visible. Getting some Psystorms on them is still quite simple to do. And then again, coming up to the top here with the Phoenix, I don't even know that I really get many more kills on this. The carriers, I have not been keeping up with my interceptors, but as you can see here, we are already at 145 of 150 kills, so still moving along quite well, getting as many kills as we possibly can. In the top right, I probably should have spent a little bit more time working on that battle because that's actually quite a good area to get a lot of kills. Unfortunately, I wasn't staying on top of my warp gates as much, spending a little bit more time focusing on other things. And as you can see, the carriers now completely out of interceptors, trying to get a few more kills here, but not really going to be able to do a whole lot since only 1 interceptor at a time is coming out at this point. But the Stalkers now coming over to help out, and now warping in some Stalkers as well to aid these Zealots in taking on this Zerg base over here. And at this point, we're at 170, 171, so we're already over the goal for getting that gold level achievement on this. So like I said, the areas where I tended to focus the most of my time is kind of along the bottom of the map, and then the carriers on the right side there, because if you use the Psystorm on all the infantry that's in the bottom left, and then blink your stalkers to take out all the Reapers and the SCVs and such that are in the bottom right, that is a good chunk of the kills that you need to get there. And as I mentioned, the carriers can also get a decent amount of kills on the right side if you just kind of attack, move them, and make sure you stay on top of building interceptors. But in the top right is also a good area. If you can stay on top of using those warp gates and continuously streaming units in there to attack that Zerg base kind of in the top right there. There are a lot of units there, and as I mentioned, I didn't stay on top of that as much as possible, but I'm sure if you are really good with keeping track of your warp gates and staying on top of everything, that you can get a lot more kills out of that area. I did make it to 175, so we are 25 kills over the gold level achievement, so still plenty of tactics here that'll help you get that gold level achievement, and that's one more thing you can check off your achievement hunting list. And anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I do have a couple of cool announcements I'm going to be making here in the next day or two, hopefully, so definitely keep an eye out for those. I'm trying to get some more avenues of getting material out there as far as different places to put videos and community areas and stuff like that. So hopefully you guys will check that stuff out as well. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. GG.